There are literally hundreds of grant programs in New South Wales for small business. And there are literally hundreds in Queensland, there's hundreds in WA, and there's hundreds run by the federal government. The trick is to know which one applies for you, which one you're eligible for, and how do you actually introduce Marcus Webb. So Marcus is from BSI Grants, and we have a joint venture with Marcus to run grants through Mentored as well, because we were getting so many questions and requests for help in how do we get a grant, what grant do I get, how do I do it. You specialise in a couple of specific areas. Do you want to just give us a little overview of those and sort of what they are and how they work?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Craig. I guess we focus predominantly in the area of the research and development tax incentive in the first instance. We then move through things like export market development grants and the Accelerating Commercialisation Program, which Danielle would be familiar with. And that sort of builds on, I guess, some of those smaller level grants to get people going. We work more with those that have got an idea and they're up to their next piece, the next big bet, if you like, whether that's the R&D bet, whether that's the commercialisation of the new product and getting that out into the local market, into the international market. And so those are our three real core offerings. Having said that, we work in things like Jobs for New South Wales, there's minimum viable product grants, there are grants through CSIRO, through the Kickstart program. There's a range of other grants for that sort of ideas or ideation or seeding, project seeding piece. If anyone's in defence, there are significant grants in that area. It's very much to work with clients to say, what is your project? What's the beginning and middle and the end look like of this particular piece you're about to do? What does your funding look like? What's your contribution? Where is the rest coming from? And then on the back of that, we help them plug the gaps such that they can be competitive against the government grant and the guidelines for that program. So we've been doing that for 20 years successfully.
In the front here.
It's a very simple question. What the heck's happening with the R&D grants? The government has been giving the money out and then coming back and wanting the money back. There's been some horrendous stories in recent months.
There has been some horrendous stories, and there are some, without naming names or trying to be too controversial, there are some horrendous behaviours on both sides of the fence. Okay, there are some people who've taken advantage of the fact that this is a program that is self-assessment, meaning if you go home tonight and you magic up an R&D claim and you put that in, and you make the declarations as the taxpayer that you've done all the right things, there's a 1 in 6 chance no one's going to look at that again. But some people have taken that and done absolutely the wrong thing. Unfortunately, in the startup space, in that early stage, we need money at all costs. Just pay it back if we get it wrong. The regulatory response to that has been, one, let's try and scare everybody away from the program at that bottom end where we don't have the resources to audit them effectively. But two, let's get really tough on software, which is 60+% of our claims at the moment. So that's why you're seeing the war stories in the market at the moment. It's the most important thing I say to my clients all the time. If you do your research and you know that you're doing a systematic program of work that is out in front of the technology in the space that you work in, you will be fine, as long as you keep some records. The number of people we see who spend significant money, particularly in software, but in other fields as well, significant money on experimental research and development, but don't keep a note, don't keep a post-it note or a photo of a whiteboard, is astounding. So that's my message on that piece.